Hi, I'm Brad Keeler.
And I'm Clyde.
And we welcome you to tonight's Tunkhannock Tigers versus Hanover Area Hawkeyes boys basketball matchup. The Tigers, with a 7-4 record overall, are 1-2 in Wyoming Valley Conference Division II play. And Hanover Area brings in a not-so-glamorous 4-8 record, and they're 2-2 in the Wyoming Valley Conference Division II. Tunkhannock, they played last Saturday, and they lost to Holy Redeemer. And the Reels just came off the bus late in that game as the Tigers struggled to shoot the ball. In the fourth quarter, they only made 4 points in that game as they were beat 52-41. And they had a lead at halftime in that game by about 6 or so. Leading the Tigers was Ryan Harder's 15 points, and Jack Chilson chipped in 14 points. For the Hanover area, the Hawkeyes, they were just outmatched by Wyoming Seminary, losing 61-44. The Hawkeyes were led by Todd Kolbika, who put up 15 points, and Augie George added 9 for the Hawkeyes. Well, Rob, you see Tunkhannock shooting in front of your face as they will be going left to right in the first half, and your Tigers will be going right to left. What do you see from Hanover as they're warming up?
Well, they're definitely better with the up-close game, as you can see. Now, their 3 points, they aren't too accurate with them, but when they get up close for those layups or those 2-pointers, they really make them. So I think if Tunkhannock wants to win this, they're going to have to play better defense.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it, Rob, as Tunkhannock's defense kind of deteriorated down the stretch against Holy Redeemer, and they're looking to rebound and get a game back here, I would say. I would say the easiest way to beat Hanover is to force them to make threes, and if the threes are falling, you extend out on them, but until they prove that they can make that shot, you gotta let them shoot it.
Yeah.
And now for the Tigers, what do you see from them as they're warming up?
Well, throughout the whole thing, I've noticed that Ryan Harder is really their most prominent point scorer, and anyone from Hanover that reads the paper can notice that too. Tunkhannock really needs to develop someone else than just Ryan Harder or Jack Chilson in this, unless they want him to get covered like white on rice.
You're right. I would say that Tunkhannock does only have 2 predominant scorers in Ryan Harder and Jack Chilson. But I think Jake Frisco, he stepped up against Wyoming Area and put up his season high against them, and Ben Chilson got hot against Western Wayne back in December, and then he followed up and helped the Tigers beat Greater Nanticoke with his scoring. So I think the Tigers just need someone to step up that can make their shots. And if Tunkhannock is not making the 3, I think they need to abort it and start driving on this team. Because if they get in a running game, we saw it in the JV game that they will get outplayed if it's a running match.
Oh, without a doubt. What they need through this is just consistency. They can't just keep on hoping for a miracle here. They need to be consistent with their playing, or they're going to dry themselves out by the end of this season, Brad.
You're right. Tunkhannock, they're sitting in the 4th spot in the PIAA District 2 Class 4A standings. They're the 4 seed right now. Hanover's a 5 seed. It's not who you draw in the first round, but it's the whole landscape. And if you have to go up against Scranton Prep in the second round and then go and beat either Valley View or Western Wayne to get to states and go in as a 3 seed, it's a tough road to hoe once you get to states. So they gotta
long road ahead.
They gotta win these games, these divisional games.
Yeah, well, let's just see and hope they, actually understand the gratitude and gravity of this situation here, Brad.
Well, with about a minute left till lineup introductions and the national anthem, what's your prediction tonight, Clyde?
You see, I feel like with the Hawkeyes, they have a real nice up-and-close pattern, so I feel like they're going to be driving a lot more, playing a faster game in that first quarter. So I think Tunkhannock may be off-centered by this, but if Tunkhannock can get their head in the game, maybe they'll actually make it to the point where they themselves can get that lead instead of Hanover killing them.
You're exactly right. I think Hanover is going to be scoring a lot of points close to the bucket. I think Tunkhannock, they need to just score the basket early, and once they get the lid off the basket, I think it'll all go from there.
Yeah, it's that first quarter that's most important, because if they don't get that start to show them that this is their home turf, Hanover will walk over them like a dirty rug. And really, only time will tell how this goes, Brad. We got just under a minute and 5 left, and we'll see. I hope for a good game tonight.
You're exactly right. And now we will turn it over to the PA announcer for lineups in the national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's contest between Tunkhannock area and our guests, the Hawkeyes from Hanover area. We encourage you to cheer for your team, but booing, taunting, or any other unsportsmanlike actions will not be tolerated. We also ask that you respect the decisions of the game officials at all times. Tunkhannock area is a tobacco-free school district, and tobacco products of any kind are forbidden on school grounds. Thank you, and enjoy tonight's game. Now for the starting lineup for the Hawkeyes from Hanover area. Starting at guard, a 6'2" senior, number 22, Assad Whitehead. Starting at forward, a 5'11" senior, number 20, Augie George. Starting at center, a 6'1" junior, number 44, Joe Curcio. Starting at forward, a 6' sophomore, number 12, Mike Murphy. And starting at guard, a 5'10" junior, number 23, Todd Kolbicka. The Hawkeyes are coached by Mr. Chris Gray. He is assisted by Mr. Tony Marcicavage. Now for the Tigers from Tunkhannock area. Starting forward at 6'4", freshman, number 3, Ben Chilson. Starting forward, a 6'6" junior, number 11, Jack Chilson. Starting at guard, a 6'4" junior, number 1, Ryan Harder. Starting at guard, a 6'2" senior, number 12, Jake Frisco. And starting forward, a 6'4" senior, number 22, Paul Dinner. The Tigers are coached by Mr. Spencer Lumber. He is assisted by Mr. Stan Harder and Mr. Ryan Luce. Tonight's officials, our referee, Mr. Joe Smolinski, our umpires, Mr. Earl Harris and Mr. Kevin Keys. Will you please stand and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Here we go as we get ready to jump. For the Tigers, it'll be Jack Chilson. And we will wait for the Hanover player after they get out of their team huddle. And it looks like it'll be Assad Whitehead. He might not be out there because he can put up 50 points a night, but he's out there to lock down Tunkanek's best scorer, Ryan Harder, tonight, I think. Here comes the jump, and it's won by Hanover area. Kobika gives it to Whitehead, back to Kobika, back to Whitehead. Gives it to Mirth on the wing. Mirth dribbles it up. Gives it to Whitehead as Hanover is running a lot of cutters. He'll give it to George, who will give it to Mirth. Giving it back to Kobika. Pass to Whitehead is tipped by Jake Frisco.
Frisco goes down the line. He's looking for a Tiger, and that Tiger's Ben Chilson. Ben Chilson to Ryan Harder. Ryan Harder with the shot. No good.
No good. Jack Chilson with the rebound. Gets it blocked by Cercio. Harder thought he may have gotten hit on the shot, but the ref thought otherwise. Frisco will inbound to Harder on the wing.
Harder to Chilson. Chilson back to Harder.
Back to Frisco.
To Harder. To Frisco. Frisco looking. To Jack Chilson. All the way to Ben Chilson for a three. He sinks it.
Tigers get on the board early here. Whitehead to bring it up for Hanover. Whitehead gives it to Mirth in the corner. Up top to Kobika. Over to George. Frisco with the strip.
And a takeaway. 2 points for Frisco. Isn't that beauty?
Timeout Hanover. 1 minute, 29 seconds into the game.
And it is 5-0. Tigers leading this thing.
Jake Frisco playing with some of that intensity. Maybe he heard what we were saying about their defense and came out and played good defense, which led to easy offense.
Yeah. Now all we need to see is if Ryan Harder will still be as consistent as he is, or if these two are the ones finally stepping up for Tunkanec.
Let's see what Hanover draws up out of the inbound. George will inbound to Whitehead. Whitehead to bring it up. Tries to blow by Jack Chilson, but he'll kick it out to George for three. I'm sorry, that is Kobika for three.
Ryan Harder has the ball up court looking for someone. Finds Jack Chilson. Jack Chilson to Ben Chilson.
He
Chilson
answers back with the three of his own.
That is 6 points for Ben Chilson already.
Whitehead with it. Pass out to Mirth. Up to Kobika. Over to Mirth. Mirth does not look comfortable handling the ball right now. He tries to blow by Ben Chilson. He'll kick it in the corner to Kobika, who airballs it long, rebounded by Harder.
He goes up. Passes to Ben Chilson. Ben Chilson up, and
his
ball.
dump off to Paul Binner is tipped. Frisco gets it. He'll throw it out to Jack Chilson to set it up. He gives it to Harder. Back to Frisco. Over to Ben Chilson. Back to Frisco.
Frisco to Jack. Back to
Frisco
Jake.
spot up three. Short. Paul Binner fighting for the jump ball with Whitehead. He'll get it. Tigers will get the ball. Frisco will inbound for the Tigers. Technical difficulties delaying the game here a little bit. Frisco to Jack Chilson. Block jumper, good.
That was a beautiful 2 points. It's now 10-3 Tigers.
Whitehead brings it up. Passes it to Mirth. To Kobika, to Mirth. To Mirth. Down low to George. George gets it down low. Short arms it. Rebounded by Binner. Pass up to Harder.
Harder up court right. Looking. And he makes another. Wow.
Floater good. Whitehead brings it up. Blows by Chilson and gets the layup.
Frisco with the carry going up court.
Looks like Hanover's in a 2-3 zone.
And Ben Chilson with a 3.
Boy, he's hot. They're going to want to run him off that shot.
Yeah.
Whitehead brings it up. Hanover area, the student section is letting Hanover area know that he's only a freshman.
And here's Ryan Harder with the carry. Looking.
That's a foul on Mike Mirth as he tried to pick Ryan Harder's pocket. Number 2, Matt Barber is subbed in for Mirth.
And we have Jake Frisco with the carry going up court center. And he passes that to Harder. Harder all the way to Ben Chilson in the corner. And
Short.
he's short.
Kobika to bring it up. Gives it to Barber. Barber drives baseline. And the foul will be on Jack Chilson. First free throw from Barber is good. The second free throw from Barber is short, rebounded by Harder.
Harder goes up court, looking for someone. Goes in deep, hooks it. Jack Chilson the ball. Chilson going, and
That's a charge on Jack Chilson. His second of the game. Jaron Robinson's going to be subbed in for the Tigers for Jack Chilson as he's in foul trouble. That's 2 quick fouls back to back for Jack. He's going to have to tone it down a little bit here as Whitehead will bring it up. Barber runs baseline. They're looking to get him a 3 in the corner. He'll go to Kobika, who will give it back to Barber. To Kobika, to Barber in the corner. Down low to George. George pivots, missed. Rebounded by Binner. To Harder.
Harder's looking for someone to pass to now down in their end.
Gives it to Frisco. Back to Harder.
Frisco all the way to Binner. Binner to Ben Chilson. Ben, no good.
Short armed it. Jaron Robinson fights for the rebound. Whitehead gets it. For Hanover, pushes it. Frisco did a very good job at taking charge, throwing Whitehead off the shot. We'll wait to see who the foul's on. Number 1, Ryan Harder. His first, team's third. Whitehead's first free throw attempt is good. Second one's in.
That is David Baltrusitis going in for Paul Binner.
Frisco to inbound to Harder.
Harder back to Frisco. Frisco with the carry. Back to Harder. Harder to Frisco. Frisco back to Harder. Back to Frisco. Ben Chilson and Jaron Robinson. To Frisco. Frisco.
Money. Wide open 3. Extends the lead to 10.
That brings a 10-point lead for the Tigers.
Tigers go to a zone trap.
No
Shot
good.
by number 44, Cercio, good at the rim.
Frisco of the carry. To Harder. To Frisco. Looking. Back to Harder. To Jaron Robinson. Robinson to Frisco. Frisco going up. Ben Chilson. To Dave Baltrasitis. To Jaron Robinson.
Fancy move by Robinson, gets him the 2. Whitehead looking to push it up. These Tigers are in a trap. A 1-2-2 it looks as Kobika gives it to George. George's jumper no good. Rebounded by Robinson.
To Harder. Harder.
Way outside.
Chris Kyle shot there for Ryan Harder.
The Hanover area coach is not happy, to say it mildly. Very upset that his team is sagging off of Tunkanek's three-point shooters on a fast break chance. And that's a good shot by Harder, knowing where the defense is and just being able to pull up. Extends the lead to 13. Hanover doesn't look like they have too much going for them right now. What do you think, Rob?
You know, Ryan Harder came up a bit slow considering he's the leading point scorer, but with that 3, he showed us why he's number 1. That 3 was so deep, I'm surprised he didn't drown. Oh my word. I hope to see better and better from him, and this is only the first quarter. This is a 13-point lead, a minute 21 left in this.
Oh. George will bring it up. He'll give it to Kobika, to George, to Kobika, to Whitehead, to Kobika for 3. Halfway down, around and out as Ben Chilson gets the rebound and gives it to Frisco.
Frisco up. Going fast, passes it to Harder. Harder with a 3, no good.
Rebounded by George. Whitehead's gonna push it. His layup is no good. Rebounded by Ryan Harder. 40 seconds left. Long pass to Chilson, to Frisco, to Harder. Frisco with it to Chilson, to Robinson, to Frisco. Tigers playing for 1 shot. Whitehead brings pressure. Gives it to Chilson, back to Frisco, to Chilson, to Frisco. 13 seconds left, Tigers playing for 1. 8 seconds, Frisco, to David, to Robinson, down low for 2. First quarter ends with a post-move layup by Jaron Robinson.
That's 25-10, Tigers leading. 15 points there.
It looked like, well, Rob, in the first quarter,
Yeah.
it looked like Tunkanek started fast and that they were going to drop off a little bit there around the 3.5 minute mark as Hanover was starting to get a bunch of easy shots, a couple free throws. Then Tunkanek stepped up the defense again and went on a scoring rampage to stretch the lead up to 15.
Yeah, you could say that again. Ben Chilson really came out hot for the Tigers, showing that Ryan Harder's not the only one that can put up 3s like no business. But Tigers really need to make sure not to be lacking in their defense, or Hanover will come back and put them in their place.
Yeah, that's exactly right, as Hanover will get the ball, as George will get it from Barber. George gives it to Barber in the corner. Back up to George, looking for Whitehead. Can't get it to him, he goes to Barber. Down to Cercio's taken away.
Intercepted by Ben Chilson. Ben? No good.
Boy, student section's probably wreaking havoc on Hanover area right now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, classic psychological warfare. Jake Frisco of the ball passes it to Baltrasitis. Baltrasitis to Frisco. Frisco, Ryan Harder out wide. Ryan Harder to Frisco.
Backdoor by Harder. Layup good.
Wide open. That's his second 2 of the night.
George with it for Hanover. Barber with it down to Whitehead. Puts a move on Robinson. Robinson got away with the hack as Whitehead misses. Harder. Chilson. Up top to Frisco.
Oh. Out wide to Robinson,
Off
but
of
he's not answering.
Robinson's hands. The pass seemed to be tipped before it got to Jared. George will bring it up. To Whitehead, over to Barber. Down to Cercio. Out to Barber for 3. Boy, if Hanover's making their threes, they're might chip back into it, won't they, Clyde?
Yeah. Well, let's see. Baltrasitis with the ball to Frisco. Frisco looking for a game plan here. You can't see it etched in that hard wood, but he sees Baltrasitis on top. So Ben Chilson. Ben
Over to
Chilson
Harder.
to Harder.
His
Harder.
pull-up J, no good. Rebounded by Barber. Give it to Mirth in the corner for 3. Back-to-back threes for Hanover. Makes it a 11-point game. 3-pointer by Tunkhannock, no good as Hanover collides. They still get the rebound. Barber to give it to Mirth in the corner. Missed. Baltrasitis with it.
Ryan Harder of the carry, going slow, cooling them off a bit, hopefully. Passes to Baltrasitis. Baltrasitis in the corner to Robinson. Robinson to Ben Chilson. To Baltrasitis. Baltrasitis. No good.
I don't think that's a shot Tunkhannock was looking for in that possession. A very early shot. I don't think they want to get into a running game with Hanover because Coach Schlunger was telling them to slow it down. As Whitehead's shot is no good, but he got fouled on the way up. Foul was on Ben Chilson, his first, team's 4th. First free throw is no good. Second is good as Whitehead goes 1 for 2.
And he closes that gap. It's now just a 10-point lead for the Tigers. Frisco of the ball. To Harder. Harder to Robinson. Robinson looking to Frisco. Frisco to Harder to Robinson. Robinson down low.
Tunkhannock will maintain possession. 4 minutes and 53 seconds left in the second quarter. Frisco to inbound for the Tigers. Inbound is to Robinson. To Harder. Out to Ben Chilson.
Frisco.
To Frisco, to Baltrasitis, to Robinson, to Chilson. Who gets it to Harder.
Harder to Chilson. Chilson to Baltrasitis.
His runner is no good. It's a good shot by David. Just didn't go. Barber pull up 3. Long.
Ben Chilson with the ball passes to Baltrasitis.
Has it swatted away. Chris Trochak will come in for David Baltrasitis.
Number 5 is checked in.
Rebound goes to Harder, Chris, Trochak to Harder.
Ben Chilson wide on that one.
That was a heat check. That was a terrible shot. Catch and shoot. They could have worked for a better shot as Cercio's layup is no good. But he gets the second chance point. Make it an 8-point game. Frisco with it.
Frisco.
Short.
Ram.
Whitehead pushing it up. He'll get a layup. Timeout, Tigers.
It's now just a 6-point difference in this one, boys.
And just like that, Hanover has willed themselves back into the game as it was a double digits Tigers lead and now it's only 6 points. You got to blame some of it on not being aggressive on the defensive end, I think, as Hanover was able to just get to the well and
sink it.
Make it easily. But Tunkhannock, they went cold offensively on that stretch.
Yeah, but they're sleeping in a defensive end. They can't let them walk all over them.
You're supposed to rest on offense, not on defense, as Frisco will bring it up for the Tigers. It's like Hanover has switched to a man defense as Frisco's pass to Robinson gets there, but Whitehead tips it away from Robinson. Frisco with it, gives it to Robinson. Pass tipped by George. Whitehead pushing. He misses at the rim. But Barber gets it. Whitehead's being very vocal about how the refs probably missed a foul. Maybe that goes against him next time. Barber has 6 points off the bench for Hanover.
Ben Chilson passes to Robinson. Robinson to Frisco. Frisco, Trochak, deep three.
They needed that.
Yeah.
They needed it.
Hopefully that brings some life back into them.
It also gives them a chance to set up their defense so Whitehead just can't drive to the hoop. Whitehead gave it to George. George gives it down on to Cercio. Back to George. Down low, out to Murth. Murth for three, and he drilled it.
No one there to stop him on that one.
Murth can't make layups, but he can make that three when it's wide open.
Trochak with the ball here to Ryan Harder. Ryan Harder, no good.
Got his own rebound though. Jump ball. Tigers will get it.
Jack Chilson in for Jaron Robinson.
Hopefully Jack Chilson can provide a spark. He sat for about 8 minutes of game time in foul trouble. Frisco to inbound to Harder.
Harder to Trochak.
I think George got his hand in there. That one.
Jack Chilson rimmed the three. That was Frisco.
Frisco rimmed that three as Murth has it. To Barber, down to Whitehead. To pass to Barber, goes into the first row of the bleachers. Tigers will gain possession. If you're Tunkhannock, you can't get fancy right here. You just got to get a basket. Maybe take it to halftime with at least a 4-point lead.
Yeah.
And lick your wounds at halftime as they've been outplayed here in the last 4 minutes here of this quarter. Frisco with it. To Harder.
Harder of the ball. Ben Chilson. To Trochak. Trochak to Frisco. Frisco to Ryan Harder. Trochak.
His layup is no good. Whitehead with it. Murth outside, drives, and got fouled on the way up. Fouls on Jake Frisco, and I don't think they got the right person for the foul. Mirth missed a free throw. Hanover's third missed free throw tonight. See if he can do it again. 53 seconds left. Tigers up 4. And he makes the second.
They are now in 3-point distance from each other. Frisco of the carry to Trochak to Frisco.
Ben Chilson. Mirth overplayed.
Loose ball.
Cercio tipped the pass. Tuncanic's got to run a different offense here, as Hanover's just guessing every single pass correctly. Inbound goes to Ben Chilson. To Harder. To Trochak. That's another 3. Whitehead with it for Hanover. They're playing for one shot, 20 seconds left. Ben Chilson's on them. Whitehead just blows by Chilson. 2 seconds left, and Tunkanic won't get a shot off.
It's okay, it's okay.
We will be taking a short break here for halftime, and we'll be back soon. Welcome back to Tunkhannock area in Hanover area in their boys basketball game. Your Tigers are leading 33-21, and it couldn't have went any worse at the second half of the Tigers. They saw a 15-point lead get whittled down to 4 points, mostly because Hanover was running, and making their baskets.
Yeah.
Say anything else about that?
Well, other than they fell asleep at the wheel here for the Tigers, I don't know what else to tell you. It's simple. They came out running once they saw that Tunkhannock was running too. But the thing is, Tunkhannock puts all their effort into their offense right now. They need to change that up or they're going to be left in the dust of Assad Whitehead. Because that boy can run when it comes to a one-man. If he gets a breakaway, they're done. Simple as that. That lead that they once had will be crushed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Tunkhannock needs to get their hand in the game in this. This isn't High School Musical. This is how to get to states. And you don't get it by sleeping on bench. But on the other side, Hanover is very impressive in this. And I'll give them this much. For not being able to shoot threes, they started getting some later on in that second.
You're right. In the last game, Augie George, he had 9 points. He has a goose egg right now. Hanover's going to be wanting to get him going. And Kobika put up 15 in his last game, and he's nowhere near that stat. He's only at 3 points, so they're going to be wanting to get those two guys the ball. And what has completely surprised me is that Assad Whitehead is putting up points and making them. He's making his shots, which is just amazing because he normally doesn't put up points. He's normally out there for defense and to do the stats that don't always show up in the box score it and to stuff the stat sheet with not so glamorous stats.
Yeah, but he sees the holes in the Tigers' defense and weaves through them like a sewing needle going through a patch. And this kid knows how to go through our defense, and it's up to Tunkhannock to decide if they want to burn or fade away in this game, really.
Valley View is beating Scranton 44-37 late in the third. Tunkhannock is chasing Valley View for a spot in the playoffs as George gives it to Whitehead on a float pass down to Whitehead for 2.
That brings in a 2-point lead by Tigers. They're barely holding on here. Ryan Harder has the ball, passes to Jack Chilson. Chilson, where is he looking? Jake Frisco. Jake Frisco, the ball. Up. Goes for a 3.
Off the back of the rim. Chilson tipped it, rebounded by George. George with it. Gives it to Mirth. To Whitehead. Down to George. Has it tipped on the way up. Frisco gets it.
Frisco going up the drive. Looking. Point. Oh. Shot no good.
By Trochak. Whitehead with it. And he takes a step back 2, no good. Chilson with the board. Gives it to Trochak. Up to Frisco.
Frisco looking. Frisco in deep water, passes to Ben. Ben Chilson.
Floater no good at the rim. Whitehead with it. Has it blocked from behind. Harder with it. Up to Ben Chilson. And that's an obvious push. Hanover's second foul of the game, though. They have played an extremely good game when it came to fouls and aggressiveness. They haven't been too aggressive, nor have they been not aggressive enough. Foul is on Augie George, his first.
And Ben Chilson has the ball, passes it to Frisco, and he rims it. Trochak with the ball, going around for the long call. Whitehead has him like a dot on a map. Ben Chilson passes to Frisco, to Trochak. Trochak to Frisco. Frisco's looking. Harder, no good for him. So he passes Trochak. Trochak to Ben Chilson. Ben Chilson to Frisco.
And the pass goes straight into Cercio's hands. Whitehead with it. Entry pass goes to George. His layup is no good. Whitehead's looking for a foul. Instead of looking for a foul, maybe he should hustle for the ball, I think. As he gives it to Mirth. Gets double teamed, has the ball taken away. Trochak pushing. Misses a layup. Gets his own board. Gives it to Harder. Spot up three, no good. They call a foul down low. That is a push on Hanover. On number 20, Augie George, his second, team second of the half. Frisco to Trochak.
Ben Chilson with the ball. Trochak to Jack Chilson. Frisco. Frisco with that ball. Trochak. Trochak looking. Finds Ben Chilson. Ben Chilson. Digging. Nothing.
Long on his block jumper. Whitehead with it. Driving, passes to Barber. Pass is batted away. Will stay blue. Tigers haven't scored this quarter. They're up 2 though. 4:40 to go in the third quarter. Whitehead with it. Gives it to Cerso. George. To Whitehead. Mirth's three is no good.
But Ryan Harder gets the ball and he rushes up there.
And he has it sent into the bleachers. Dalton Hughes with the rebound in the student section, about 3 rows up. Frisco to inbound. He'll give it to Trochak. Whitehead steals the inbound, gives it to Mirth for 2.
He
tied game.
Up. Frisco the carry. Goes up. Growing tired here. Trochak with the ball. Back to Frisco. Needs something fresh. Ben to Jack.
Jack got hit on the way up and on the way down. Hanover coach is pulling for straws now. Both the JV coach and the varsity coach are pulling for straws. Foul is on George, his third of the quarter too.
He pulls the lead back up by 1 point. Ben Chilson is swapped out for Shane Macco.
George has 3 fouls and he's picked them up all in a little over 4 minutes. Chilson's second free throw is no good. Mirth misses.
Frisco with the ball. He goes up. Oh, fake. Trochak to Jack. Jack to Frisco. Frisco 3, no good.
No, it was a 2 and it was short, but he gets his own rebound.
Still has the ball though. Let's see. Macco to Frisco. Trochak.
Barber's doing a really good job at just guarding
And 3 put up by
Ryan Harder so he doesn't get it. Shane Macco off the bench with the 3, pushes it to 4. Mirth has it. He'll give it to Barber. To Mirth. Timeout, Hanover.
That sub of Shane Mack, though, it seems like Tunkhannock may start to get their spark that they need, but I wouldn't hold up too much. Hanover just made a stunning comeback to a tie game, only to have the lead blown away again. It's still neck and neck up here.
Looks like Augie George is talking to the official. I don't know what he might be talking about. Maybe it's about how he's upset that he has 3 fouls. Beats me. Maybe he thinks there was a missed call.
Maybe it's the weather.
Maybe it is. Kolbika's subbed in for George. Barber gets it. Give it to Mirth. Back to Barber, to Kolbika, to Mirth, to Barber. His 2 is long, rebounded by Frisco. Frisco's been all over the place on the defensive end tonight.
Yeah.
He gives it to Jack.
Trocheck to Frisco. Frisco to Ryan Harder. Ryan Harder. And the ball is Jack Chilson, but it is no good.
Jack might need he might want to pass off right now. He's not really hitting his shots. So maybe he needs to help the team by facilitating the pass. Mike Mertz 3 is long. Frisco did a good job at blocking Kolbika from getting the ball. And Tigers will get the ball. Frisco gives the pass to Trocheck. Down low to Chilson. And commentators curse. Jack Chilson with the easy basket.
2 points. Gets that off his head.
Where'd Pop go?
Kolbika pull up 3, long.
Harder of the carry.
He'll pull up a 3, long. Whitehead with it, pushing. And foul on Ryan Harder. He will shoot. Whitehead will shoot. That is not the shot Tunkhannock wants.
No, especially not in such a close game right here.
And there's no numbers there for a rebound. Whitehead's first free throw is good. Whitehead goes 2 of 2 at the line that time.
And it's Jake Frisco with the ball once again.
Tunkhannock will have the ball to start the 4th. And there's a foul. And no, they call a walk on Jack Chilson. Barber has it. To Kolbika. Give it to Mirth. Down to Whitehead. Has the pass tip. Trocheck running. Gives it to Mako. Jack Chilson to Frisco.
He's trapped here. Ryan Harder.
He'll drive. Kick to Mako. Mako puts up a 3. Just off. Mirth to Whitehead. 25 seconds left. We saw this at the end of the first half where Whitehead would lull his defender to sleep and then put a move on him and score at will down low. But he'll pass to Kolbika. We'll give it to Barber, to Whitehead. Puts up a 2. He's good.
3 seconds left.
No good by Jack Chilson.
There's a 2-point difference in the start of the 4th quarter. In comparison to the first, Tigers have really fallen asleep over here, folks. They need to get their head in the game or Hanover's really going to win this.
the Tigers have simply just not been playing ever since the end of the first quarter. They had a 15-point lead, and now they've just seen it dissipate down to a 2-point game, which shouldn't have happened in the slightest.
To put simply, it's a static game for the Tigers. Really, every now and again they have a point, but it's not something they are going to be proud of, as Ben Chilson has the ball. Harder Jack.
A final score, Valley View 66, Scranton Knights 53.
Ryan posts up.
No good on his shot, rebounded by Whitehead. Barber, good for 2.
And that brings us to a tie game as Jake Frisco has the ball. Macko with it. Macko looking. Jake Frisco. Frisco looking. Macko.
That's a foul on Jake Frisco, I think.
Yep.
That's his second, team's second. Tunkhannock is just not getting anything to go their way offensively as George gives it to Mirth. Back to George to Mirth. As Mirth gets a 3, makes him pay for leaving him open.
It's now 42-39.
Tunkhannock's got to find a way to score here. Macko's answer, long. Tunkhannock's got to find a way to get this lid off the basket.
Yeah. And it's not in Assad's Whitehead's hands, I can tell you that.
He's already put up 12 points through 3 quarters. Scored 5 points in the third quarter alone. George with it. George with it, gives it to Mirth.
Trying to drive the clock
George.
out.
That's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to make this game long. Whitehead has it. He'll drive, puts a move on. Chilson blocked by Harder. Tunkhannock's got to go.
Harder in it.
Tunkhannock couldn't hit water if they're falling out of a boat right now. They just got lucky that Hanover threw the pass into the bleachers. Tunkhannock's got to clean it up offensively and defensively. You can't win with luck.
Yeah. Well, Jaron Robinson is in for Shane Macko. Let's see. Jack Chilson with the ball to Frisco. Frisco to Harder. No good.
Can you change it from the fourth quarter?
Whitehead with the ball.
Whitehead with it. To Mirth. Gives it to Whitehead. And it's off of Whitehead. Tigers will have the ball.
Jake Frisco of the carry.
Tunkhannock hasn't scored a point this quarter, I believe. Harder backdoor for 2.
Look at that.
Timeout, Coach Lunger.
commentator's curse strikes again in this 1 point difference. Hanover Pretzels with 1 point against the Tigers.
It's about time. Tunkhannock drove to the rim and abandoned the three-point shot, or the jump shot.
What do you mean?
I think if they drive, they're either going to get an easy layup like they just did, or Hanover's going to have their best scorers sitting on the bench in foul trouble because they're being stupid and committing a foul.
Well, it only took the Tigers 3 minutes and 45 seconds into the fourth quarter to realize that.
But everybody can Monday quarterback, but it's been a couple times that Tunkhannock's gotten a lead and they've blown it because they've been chucking up threes that are ill-advised shots. So
they shouldn't rely their game plan on a miracle in an 80s basketball movie, Keeler. They're not going to magically start hitting threes like LeBron James in this. They're going to need to play real and be consistent here.
They are. Tunkhannock will go to a 1-2-2 press. George will have it for Hanover. Swings across court to Mirth, down to Cercio. Over to Barber, to Whitehead, down to George, to Whitehead, blow by, no good at the rim, scrum for the ball. Robinson has tied up with Cercio, and the Tigers will not gain possession with the jump ball. It'll stay Hanover ball. Barber's inbound. Harder with the rejection, but he can't get it. Rejected him again.
And
Cercio wanted a foul. And they haven't gotten it. Terrible shot selection. Terrible. You just had 2 great defensive plays and you think a pull-up 3 is a good shot in transition with no numbers for a long rebound? Smart foul by Jack Chilson. That's his third. Team's third. Tunkhannock's they gotta play with their heads screwed on straight for the next 3 minutes and 16 seconds if they wanna walk out of here with the victory. Inbound to George. The trap does not work as it goes to Barber. And Barber's pass to Cercio goes into the bleachers. Tigers gain possession. 3 minutes left. 1 point Hanover lead.
Scary moments here. Let's see. Ryan Harder of the ball.
Harder to Frisco. Frisco up at the top of the key for 3. Jake Frisco stepping up, hitting the 3.
Jake Frisco ate his Wheaties this morning.
George has it, taken away. They're letting him play. Hanover wants a foul, but if Hanover wants to go deep in the playoffs, you're not going to get these calls that they want. Frisco with the hot hand, tried to bank it in, couldn't get it. Barber with it. Down low to Whitehead. No good, he'll shoot 2 free throws. Fouls on Jack Chilson, that's his 4th. He's got to play smart for the next 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and possibly more if we go to overtime here. My bad, the foul was on Jaron Robinson. That'll be his first, team's 4th. Whitehead missed the first free throw. Second one is also no good.
This keeps the Tigers alive for a bit more as Ryan Harder carries that ball up.
It's Tunkhannock can be smart here. They can run the entire game clock out or make Hanover start fouling. Chilson with it. Gives it to Harder. Back to Chilson. Oh, that's a charge.
carries. That was black.
That's Jack's 4th foul. Murph with it. George to Barber to Whitehead. Picked up his dribble way too early. Down low to Cercio.
And they tie it up. Frisco of the ball. Their coach is not happy.
Watch 22 carries. Every time he dribbles, he's carrying.
It is so loud in here now. Both coaches are screaming. Student section's getting into it. Frisco with it, gives it to Robinson.
It's like Thanksgiving all over again.
He'll give it to Frisco. To Robinson. Over to Frisco. They're playing for one shot. Over to Robinson. Over to Frisco. Oh, that's a foul on Whitehead.
And I thought the day would never come.
48 seconds left, tied game. That's Whitehead's 1st foul. As Whitehead takes control of the game because his shoe's untied. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing right now as Barber doesn't know what's going on. Goes to Harder in the backcourt. 45 seconds, he'll give it to Frisco.
Frisco looking like he's shopping for a membership.
Frisco with it. He'll hold it. Double pump fast pass over Whitehead's arms. Frisco gave it to Robinson, back to Frisco, back to Robinson. Back over to Frisco. 20 seconds left. $13 seconds left. Coach Lunger takes a timeout. Tunkhannock has scored 5 points this quarter. Hanover has scored a whopping 7 points.
Wow.
Tunkhannock put up twice that number in the first quarter alone. Both those scores combined.
Well, the only thing I can say is,
if you're Tunkhannock, you gotta know how many timeouts you have. You gotta know what you're looking for. And do not rush your shot. You have 13 seconds.
the rule book will be their best friend in this if they want to get out alive. Let's hope they studied.
Jack Chilson will inbound for Tunkhannock because he is the tallest. Inbound will go to Frisco. 12 seconds. To Harder. Down to Robinson. He doesn't move. Goes to Barber. The heave. No good. Overtime. Here we come.
Oh boy. I hope you're ready for this. 44-44.
That is not what Tunkhannock wanted.
No.
At the end, they had an easy chance there at the rim with Robinson. He should have just went straight up, ended the game, and do the handshake and go to the locker room.
Their first mistake was blowing that lead they had by sleeping on Whitehead.
New jump ball here. if you paid your ticket tonight, you're getting a free 4 minutes of basketball. No one expected that.
And no taxes. On the ticket, at least.
Chilson the tip. Whitehead the tip for Hanover. Chilson wins it, and then Harder tips it away from George. Frisco has it. Remember, Jack Chilson has 4 fouls, 1 more, and he's going to be watching this game from Dairy Queen. Frisco, wide open jumper, good.
Makes it.
Inbound goes to Whitehead. Over to George. And he throws it right to the Hanover bench. They are not playing this game. I don't think he knows that. And if he doesn't know that with 3 minutes and 34 seconds left in overtime, I don't think he should be out there. Frisco with it. Tunkhannock can hold the ball for the next 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Harder with it. Gave it to Robinson.
Robinson looking, shopping. Ben Chilson.
Down low to Jake Frisco. Over to Ben Chilson. To Harder. The team fouls from the second half do carry over into overtime, as Harder got hit twice. No foul call though.
With the ball.
And they call that. With 2 minutes and 55 seconds left, Whitehead will be shooting 2 free throws. Down 2. 6th foul for the Tigers. Next one, Hanover shooting 1 and 1. Unless it's a shooting foul, then they'll shoot two free throws.
He rims the first one.
I wonder if Whitehead's fatigue from running it up and down the court like it's a track meet is setting in at the free throw line, as he can't make his free throws right now.
And second one, it's now a 1-point game.
Frisco with it, 2:50 left. Harder's 3, no good. He's been ice cold from deep ever since the end of the first half.
Whitehead with the ball. Whitehead.
Over to George. Timeout, Hanover. You got that? Thank you. Well, if you are a student listening to the game and you attend Tunkhannock Area High School, we wish you luck this week with your finals that are coming up either tomorrow or Thursday. So good luck with those.
And if you're a senior, good luck with Mrs. Burke Hamlet essay that is due this Thursday. Remember, that is 100 points.
Tunkhannock's going to be lucky if they win this game. They blow a 15-point lead, don't have a lot of offense. They haven't scored more than 8 points in a quarter since the first quarter, where they put up 25 and then they dropped off to 8 points. Hanover will have the ball out of the timeout. Barber will inbound. Inbound will go to Whitehead in the backcourt. Tigers are in a 2-1-2. 1-and-1s. Fouls on Ben Chilson.
Ben.
How are they not calling a carry on Whitehead? He missed another one.
Just a 1-point lead.
He's shooting 50% from the free throw line. Jack Chilson with it, gives it to Ryan Harder. He'll drive, and he gets the basket. Whitehead with it, looking for a cross-court bomb, gives it to Mirth. Gives it back to Whitehead, over to Barber. To George, to take a dribble, put it up, make it. 1:34 left.
Another 1-point difference.
Augie George's first basket of the game came in overtime. Frisco to Chilson, over to Robinson. To Ben Chilson, to Frisco. Frisco will pull it out, set it up, over to Robinson. Frisco, to Robinson, over to Harder. They need him to foul. Mirth with the foul. 50 seconds left. They're gonna have to do that a couple more times, get him in the bonus. Hanover area has one foul to give before Tunkhannock shoots 1-and-1s. The foul was on number 12, Mike Mirth, his second.
Close game here tonight, folks.
So Rob, I have a question for you. Which was a better game to call, the Nanticoke game from last year or this one?
You know, I'd rather Nanticoke, to be honest, Keeler, because with here, it's like watching an intramural game at a college party. You don't know who's on whose team, but you know someone's trying to score, just not how.
Also, we know what happened in the Nanticoke game now.
Yeah.
We were in that same position last year. Whenever you play a team on the San Sui Parkway, I guess it's a struggle.
As usually is everything in the San Sui Parkway. Except for food chains.
Frisco to inbound. So Harder. 45 seconds left. To Jack Chilson. To Ben Chilson. Backdoor cut and one! Mirth can't believe it. They just wasted their foul to give. Mirth just got outmaneuvered on that one. Ben Chilson, ice in the veins, making it.
And you can feel that from here. Oh my word, folks. 51-47, 37 seconds left. This may not be a miracle on ice, but maybe we've awoken the Tiger. If you really call this a Tiger.
Mirth to inbound. To Whitehead. He's got to go. If Whitehead didn't miss all his free throws, they'd probably win this game in regulation. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Oh.
Charge! Jack Chilson
Like
gets
a
one.
sack of potatoes. He falls down.
Fouls on Kolbika, his first, team 7th. Chris Trochak will be shooting free throws as Hanover tries to
No pressure on Chris Trocheck here.
The foul was on Augie George, his fourth. Not like it'll mean anything if he picks up his fifth. Makes the front end on the 1-and-1. All but seals it. Who cares if they make the three? They still need another one to win it. Just don't foul them. Who cares if it goes in? And Mirth makes it for two. Timeout Hanover just to stop the clock. .13 ticks left on the clock. Tigers up 4. Jack Chilson the inbound. Harder gets the inbound. Foul is on Mike Mirth. That'll be his fourth. 11 ticks left on the clock. One free throw seals it. 2 makes it comfortable. He missed. Still anyone's game here. And the ball goes to the Tigers. Game's over. And Ben Chilson won't shove it down their throats as they escape the Hawkeyes 53-49.
Oh my word, that is it, folks. Pack up, go home. Hanover, they're not eating.
There's a rematch left. Before we leave, we'd like to say that the next game for the Tigers is tomorrow night at MMI Prep. And Friday, they're down at Lake Lehman. And then they will return home on Tuesday, January 21st with a matchup with the Rangers from Northwest area. That is all for tonight's game. I'm Brad.
And I'm Clyde.
And thank you for listening.
Have a good one.